Today, guys, I'm just gonna rant. I'm gonna talk to you guys about something that I feel that we need to talk about when it comes to competing. So this is for any guys out there who are thinking about competing in the sport of bodybuilding. I call it extreme pageantry. It really is. I'm a BB Pro. That's exactly what it is. It's the extremes of pageantry, right? Anyway, I did a video on, body, positivity, fat shaming, this and that. And it involved Phil Viz. And then Greg did a video. And then Phil Viz's response to Greg, was very like insecure, very childish. He even put up an old picture of the whole thing, Greg being busted, whatever. And even his comments, it was like, dude, that's old. We've already been through this. Like, take that down. We already know it's fake. Anyway, and then I keep seeing the response, and it always reminds me of something that's very obvious in this industry. And everyone tries to brush it over or trying to hide it under muscles, looks, grunts, all of those alpha-esque actions. And it's insecurity. Now, why do I say the bodybuilding industry is very insecure? Well, previous to me bodybuilding, I was playing football for 18 years, basically straight. I think I only took maybe like 2-ish years off. And that was when I went out to Whistler, BC. And when I finished my junior career, I then was there and then went to St. Mary's. So I was playing football since I was like 11 years old. And the sport of football, we all know. On the field, whether you're American or Canadian, the 12, 11 dudes on the field are some confident ass dudes. I feel like that with most sports. You gotta be confident. And we would sit there and talk the most amount of shit in the world. Like I'm trying to get you off your game. I'm gonna say everything in the book to make you feel insecure.
I'll be playing with your mama tonight.
Because I want you to, so I can get you off your game mentally. That's the sport. That's like the sport within the sport. And that's in every single sport. Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, every kind of sport where you're against somebody and you're talking shit. You're trying to get them off their game, but there's a level of confidence that's there and prevalent that has to be there. Could you imagine an insecure boxer, like being in the ring? No, because it doesn't work. You get your ass knocked out. You can't be insecure during the sport. The problem with bodybuilding is that it's a sport that doesn't turn off. Bodybuilding is that thing that has to be like all day long. Every single day, you are a bodybuilder. You eat, you train, you sleep, you recover, all for the goals of changing your physique, and that is a constant thing over and over and over and over again. My first show, 2012, I just finished playing football. I broke my finger. If you guys are wondering what the heck's going on with my finger, it's a broken finger. I cannot move it at all. That's why it doesn't do anything. It's literally broke. The ligaments flipped underneath, pulled underneath. That was my last game. What am I gonna do next? I decided I'm gonna bodybuild. The second I started bodybuilding, I didn't tell anybody I was gonna bodybuild, but the rumors started going out. There's this football player around here that's gonna bodybuild. And then all of a sudden I found out it was me. And then I was like, man, you gotta beat Greg Doucette. And then all of a sudden, it flipped over. The reasoning behind me having to take down Greg was the most eye-opening thing of my career. That kind of set the tone for how I would take my steps in this industry. And the only reason why they really, really, really wanted me to beat Greg is because he won too much. And it wasn't fair. And he's taking away chances for other people to win. And I'm like, what? And I got sucked in a bit, not gonna lie. I was like, yeah, man, up this dude, man, powerlifting and shit, man, lifting weights. That's not even real weights. How come those plates are bigger than the plates? Those are fake weights. He ain't nothing shit. Bodybuilder, I'm gonna take his ass down because he wins too much. Like literally, that was like in my head for a bit, and then I like quickly shook that shit off and we became friends. I hear this a lot. I hear, if you listen to it and think about it, and you ask every bodybuilder that you know why they started bodybuilding. I hear a lot of the reasons. I didn't make the team in high school. I didn't fit in. I was bullied in high school, or whatever it was. I didn't fit into the other mainstream things, and bodybuilding was my safe haven, which is great. But here's a problem with that. If you are measuring your self-worth with if you made a team, if you were accepted, if you fit in, or whatever it is, then your self-worth is based on your success with something else, and you take it away from yourself. Instead of, I started bodybuilding because it was a sport I really liked to do, and I did it. But as most of the time, I went to the gym, started working out because I was getting picked on, I was being bullied. And those are all freaking great reasons to go to the gym and to start bodybuilding. The only problem is if you do not have that self-confidence from the start, you're going to rely on the sport and the placings to tell you what your worth is. And I see it, I'll give you examples, because I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, okay? How many times have you seen professional bodybuilders on Instagram block regular ass users for saying something about their physique that they didn't like? And I'm not talking like your trolls are just saying, hey, loser, and then dropping like very vulgar shit to you and you gotta like literally take that shit off your page. I get that. But I'm talking like Phil Heath, top bodybuilder in the world, moved by some kid saying something about his physique. And I get being annoyed, I get that. But it's like, Phil Heath is the best in the world at one point. Do you think that if you went on Tom Brady's freaking Instagram page and was like, Tom, you suck. I think Peyton Manning is way better. You're only good because Bill Belichick, whatever. You're not that nice. Oh, you shouldn't have. You know what? You're lucky you went to Tampa Bay because, Tampa Bay. Like, do you think he's like, what are you talking about? I'm a really good quarterback. I won like 6 damn times. How dare you say this about me? Block. It doesn't happen. Kai Green being like, oh man, I feel he's gonna win again. I'm not competing in Olympia, screw this shit. It's because he's gonna win. They'll never not let him win. Oh, and then that grapefruit stuff, they'll never get over that. Screw the Olympia. Ugh. There's a 2-year top. I can keep going down the list. Like, I can go down the list of athletes at the top of the game being bothered and worried about what someone has to say. Here's some other examples. If you disagree with somebody in the bodybuilding industry about what they're doing, they get extreme, like you cannot, for the most part, give constructive criticism to another coach, another athlete without them taking it legitimately personal and serious. I remember watching this thing, Bob Chiccarello was on it, and he said one thing to me, and a lot of you guys might not like Bob, but I don't really care. And that's another thing too. It's how much hate is in the industry that you can it just screams insecurity. Anyway, Bob said this: people need to understand how to separate their emotions from their physique. What does he mean by that? You gotta take away your emotions from your physique when you're being judged. Your placings from a judge does not directly correlate with your self-worth. And that is the issue we have with bodybuilding, bringing us in full circle back to the reason why most people come into the sport. They come into the sport for validation, for confirmation, for reassurance of their self-worth. So for you guys that are out there who are competing, newbies, vets, why are you doing this sport to begin with? You gotta think of that. Why am I actually choosing to do a sport where I'm going to, at some point, be extremely miserable? And you will. I do not care how delicious your diet is. I've eaten on Greg's cookbook before there was a cookbook, and all of my meals were damn delicious. Trust me on that. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't freaking matter.
As soon as you get to those levels of those single-digit body fat numbers that go lower and lower and lower, shit gets harder and harder and harder. You have to sacrifice doing things you wouldn't be able to do before. And it's totally, completely fine. But you have to ask yourself is, why are you doing this? If you go and play a game of pickup basketball or flag football or frisbee or whatever it is, are you going there and being like, man, if I don't win this, man, I'm gonna feel so shitty, man, I gotta win at all costs, man. You don't do that. And for a majority of you out there, you're only doing this just to do it for fun, and you're never gonna become a pro. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest with you guys. There's a lot of you out there who are doing this sport, hoping you're gonna become pro, and you probably aren't the one. And if you are the one, you are part of that very small percentage who actually makes it as a professional bodybuilder, gets their pro card, and then successful as a bodybuilder. I know a lot of guys who play men's football leagues who take that shit serious, and they train like they're still in college, and they eat like they're still in college, and they have that mindset that they're still in college, and that's completely fine. But as soon as they're done playing, they go back to their regular ass lives and they're happy. They don't lose a game and go home like, what happened, baby? Man, we lost to the team again, man. How am I gonna do? I gotta just start eating. Oh my God, it sucks. My life sucks. No one likes me. And we lost. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just being honest. I look at the reaction of people, and that's mainly the only way we can really judge anybody is by how they act. Before they make an action, you can't judge anybody. Before they say a word or make a move, you cannot judge a single soul. But as soon as you start chit-chatting, talking, acting, then we can judge. And when I look around for the mass majority of this industry, it's plagued with insecure people who pose and act like they are confident men, women in circles, whatever. They're hiding their insecurities with muscles and looks and Instagram followers and YouTube subscribers. And at the middle of all this is this insecure little boy-girl circle that still doesn't know their self-worth, that is looking for reassurance instead of starting off this sport as it is and only is, which is just a sport. Get into this because you want to try something that's gonna challenge you mentally, physically, spiritually. This is a beautiful, amazing sport if you do it for the right reasons. Everyone has different opinions and different methods. That's fine. If it makes sense scientifically, biologically, chemically, if it makes sense, everyone's opinions are fine. And I get that there's other opinions and stuff that don't make sense and some methods that are very unhealthy and unsafe. And those people really need to be weeded out. And obviously bodybuilding isn't the safest sport to do to begin with. The probability or the reality that you could get with a coach that really doesn't know much about anything and just giving you a bunch of things to do that can harm your body. I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is before you step into this sport, don't come to bodybuilding looking for the answer to your self-worth. Your self-worth and your physique, these two things should never mix. My self-worth is how I feel as a person, as a human being, my character, how I treat people, how I wake up every day, and how I go about my life, doing the best that I can do to give everyone the best experience they can have. I try. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes and make mistakes, and I definitely have enemies, and I definitely have friends. But I know my self-worth. I don't rely on my friends or my circle or my surrounding to reassure me of my self-worth. I don't rely on my mother or my father to tell me they love me for my self-worth. I don't rely on how many subscribers or followers I get for my self-worth. My self-worth is based on me and me only. And you have to have that. You have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and look yourself and say, yeah, man, you're good enough. Whatever we do after this is extra, icing on the cake. Let's do this sport for fun. Let's do it seriously. Let's try and go as far as we can. But if we don't make it, that's fine. We could try something else. And if you do get lucky and you make it to get a professional pro card and you get to be on the pro stage, it still doesn't make you any better than who you are or what you are. You may accomplish something, but even your accomplishments don't add up to your self-worth. Your self-worth is intrinsic, just like motivation. Think about that. Anyway, guys, man, I hope you just like that video, man. I'm just talking my heart. Just speaking my truth. I'm just telling it like it is, guys. If you like the video, man, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the video. You know I'm going to come out with that tell it like it is, vulnerable, transparent truth. For coachingjohnstreet.com, if you want to know what coaching is all about, you can book a consult, 15 to 30 minutes. At the end of the consult, if you would like to continue with coaching and move on, I'll take off the phone consult from any plan that you pick. Also, guys, remember, prices are going up May 1st. So get on board now before prices go up, because if you get on board now before the prices go up, you are grandfathered into the price as long as you stay with me as an athlete. Anyway, guys, follow me on Instagram at _JohnStreet_. And guys, check out the gym at Impact Fitness 56. Anyway, guys, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.
Last name ever, first name greatest, 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 greatest.